This video is about the many faces of gnome. For example, I have here my Ubuntu. It's an Ubuntu, uh, and it is. I have switched it over so it will look kind of between traditional Windows or Mac OS. And as you can tell that in the let's play this, let's allow it to play. As you can tell, like to open normal like a normal GNOME, and I can go and change it around to let's see what I did. So let's position icon, I think. Okay, so let me speed it up. So yep, this is here. Open. This is how, of course, all the GNOME opens. Let's put it back. But of course, I have the menu, and I want to talk a little bit about the menu. The menu here. This is like the GNOME menu. I sometimes, like I think in Debian you just activated in IFI, and I don't know if on this one I installed it as an extension, because this is an ed Ubuntu, I think. The program here is ed Ubuntu. So I think I installed it as extension, but there is something about this menu I like. There's something I don't like. I don't like it doesn't have a search bar, which is fine. But the thing I like is you just by highlighting each area, you will have the stuff. You don't have to click forward and backward, and we're gonna see that later with for example with the menu of Zorin, for example, where you have to do that. You can set Zorin many ways, but however, I wanna also emphasize that a menu like this come really handy than the original way to open Ubuntu or open GNOME, especially if you have many programs, because it allow you to just search through them in a quick manner. So this is, of course, let's see what I have here. Of course, we have the bottom bar, which is I like, and I think I'm opening here to open it. I'm opening here. We're gonna go and open a video about Zorin, and look at Zorin. So as you can tell, there is many. This is the Zorin 2x, and we have this is the cool thing. Like the menu is really crisp. So let's stop it here. And we can look that the thing I didn't like about the menu that you have to click on each let's say you have to click on Office and to take you to Office, then you have to click on you click on Office to take you to the Office, then you have to click back, so that add 2 clicks. However, the menu is really clean, and of course we will and of course here we have the space, the places, basically home and all this, so which is cool. So let's continue running and see the different setting of Zorin. By the way, a side note on Zorin, this is the new version of Zorin, or after the last update, I guess. I noticed that they got rid of Firefox. I reinstalled Firefox here, and they have Brave, which I didn't install. I uninstalled. But also they, this they seem to be, even though they are still a Flatpak distro, or the Flatpak centrist distro, many of the like I was able to find in their, not on the terminal, in their in the application center, I was able to find easily. I was able to find a Flatpak and for example Firefox, and on other other programs. So like it was cool. It was really good to see that they are, even though they and this is, I think, how any distro should be, where they maybe allow you to add Flatpak. So if you want the newest distro, but the default should be .deb, especially if they are based on Debian basically, or Ubuntu. Unlike Ubuntu, with and the previous experience and my previous experience of Firefox, where every freaking program was Flatpak, and actually that was one of the reason I left. I deleted it from my computer. So that was a cool thing. Nevertheless, and uh, as you can tell in the screen we have many ways to open. So, and this way, it's like this highlighted way, it will open kind of between a traditional GNOME and and but you still have, and the dock will stay visible. So it's kind of like a traditional GNOME, and this is definitely in the end is like a, this is basically a plain GNOME, or what we call it, like vanilla GNOME. So this is basically just any GNOME. If you install like Debian or Fedora, and GNOME, the GNOME Fedora or GNOME Debian, this is what you're gonna get. So I know most people don't install these programs, but we'll see how they work. So you have the traditional GNOME, or here's the other one, and as you can tell, there is no dock. The only thing is left is you have to click here to go back and to see, and then you can click to the menu, which is not very convenient, especially if you are mouse. You can do it better with a keyboard if you use to the keyboard shortcuts, but and most people, including myself, go to, when I install like a Debian, I go and install the extension. So let's go back to the old one, and let's go and look at another cool distro, which I tested recently, which is the AnduinOS. I wanna say before, it's similar. It's very similar uh, to Zorin. However, I wanna say that it is, but at the same time, it is not a clone of Windows, but is really similar to Windows. And mainly, what I mean when I mean similar, I don't mean the how it look exactly. I mean the concept of it. It have the same menu, and the same style of dock, with all what you save in your dock or your bar is in the center. Of course, there is, and it is also like many, like Zorin. It's a Flatpak distro, but it is but the he really, whoever the designer of Anduin, definitely, so so you can have definitely had did better. Everything installed that came installed was when I looked it up, I didn't look, as you can tell, he doesn't have a lot of things installed. So those are the programs which make a menu like this easy to use. When you have a little program, this is basically just a GNOME program, that a menu, a plain GNOME menu that made small, you know. But if you have just a few, I mean, it's easy to navigate in a menu like this. Of course, you can go to do this, which is I not a very convenient, uh, you know, way to do it is if you have a lot of program, because still you have the search bar, of course, so that help. And of course, you have the on the bottom you have the traditional uh, Windows 11 style, uh, uh, bar. Um, of course, on the right side section, it's basically it's kind of weird running this, because it is what's the word I wanna use? It's like Windows, but then you are looking and said, where is no advertisement, no pop-ups. So it's kind of, it's I don't know. I kind of like it, and I ran it not too long. I just installed it like maybe a week or so, you know, and I ran it few times since, and it's really solid. It's really solid. Like if they say it's one developer, he did a very very good job. It's a solid distro, but of course, when we say a distro in this case, and of course the same case with Zorin, it is they probably the developer, if they develop anything, they develop the extension, maybe they use, you know or they put it all together, the different themes, and they wrap it up is in one distro. So like the distro itself is still gonna update through the Ubuntu, but nevertheless, it is a really I was impressed, despite the fact that I'm not a fan of Windows 11, and I hated that menu when it started. Maybe now less so because I got used to it. you know, but it's and especially if you have, as I said, if you have a small, just few programs like this, you know, this is not a bad, you know, not a bad menu. And of course, so like I look at any distro when it comes to the design of it, you know, it's the ease of use. Especially if let's say you're working, uh, does it allow you to split the screen or tile? Does it give you access to your favorite very fast, so you don't have to go and find the programs you need very quickly? Does it have a clear menu? Is your menu the thing I didn't like about the menu of Zorin, even though it is a well-built menu, is that you have to click on each category, you know, and then you have to click back, you know, if you are searching for something, while the traditional or the vanilla menu that you can either activate on Debian or install, I can't remember the GNOME user menu. It's it doesn't, you know, it's easier. You just have to highlight each category, and then the program of each category will appear on the left. And I thought this is more efficient menu, especially if you have I have one program that I am running Debian on, and I use that style menu more so than the. Of course, I had the option to use the gnome menu at the same time on this at that computer. So, but I use that style menu much more often, because it's so quick, you know. So anyway, so let's go and let's finish playing this. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, so as you can tell, it's a Windows 11 without the bloat and without the spyware. So and this is really come very handy for, you know, for anyone who really wanna transition, or it's like kind of like a cool experience, you know. So you know, so as you can tell, the menu is the same as any menu. Okay, so now we back. So we are back at Ubuntu, and like, and as you can tell, I did customize Ubuntu. I have the upper menu here, where I open it. I just by highlighting each category, I see the programs, and I still have the. So like, you really don't have to, and this is something I did, and I'm not like a artistic person. I didn't spend like a lot of time doing it, but this is how uh, like I was able to do it in minutes, you know. The only thing maybe I had to do in this Ubuntu, I had to install extension apps, user apps, which is the extension here that allow me to, put the user, you know, that menu. But at the same time, of course, I can still use the menu on the bottom. So and so that is it. So like, you don't have to like spend. So like, if you want to, like, let's say install any gnome, you can customize it, and there are customized gnome, as we can as we demonstrated, many customized gnomes that are even easier, like Zorin, or it will give you many options, or the new Anduin OS, where it looked like Windows 10, 11. So Linux is really versatile, and this is only uh, one desktop environment, which is the GNOME. All of these programs, all of these distributions are based on GNOME. There is XFCE, there is Cinnamon, there is KDE, and and so on and so on. There are so many. So like, it's if you are a person who, and this of course can be a bad thing, because it make you hop if you get this many people who like hop from Linux to Linux. In part they hop because of the looks, and but not just the looks, the different experience of using a computer, you know. But I think like GNOME is becoming, I know that eventually a different desktop environment gonna take over, but like GNOME is becoming light, run very good. So even this Ubuntu with snaps, it run very good, and this is I think I'm running this on a machine that is I don't know, like about like maybe 8 years old, or and it run very very fine. So like, even with so like, it's not a bad thing. So that is it, and go ahead and try it, and see if you like it. That's it for today.